my best friend joined the company around 2.5 years ago. He actually resigned within a few weeks, but he told me about the opportunities that basically Byborg is giving to all employees. And I was like, okay, this is amazing. I would like to join. I sent in my application and I got my first position here. And this is where my professional career started to bloom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it was a long journey. I climbed up the corporate ladder within like 2.5 years. So it was an amazing journey. I learned a lot, really, but it was really fulfilling.
What were you originally hired to do? What was your position?
So I applied for billing service representative. So basically, we were handling all inquiries coming from members related to transactions, related to credit packages. So basically, anything with the transactions made on the website. After that, I got promoted to specialist, and then I joined the anti-fraud department, and then I joined the account management program, the account management. And yeah, that basically led to my current role as account manager specialist.
So tell me, as an account manager specialist, what exactly do you do?
Oh, wow, that's a broad question. It's not easy to answer. Basically, we are working with the studios, with key partners. Um, Within the European region. Mostly we are working with Romanian partners and we handle their inquiries, we help them to grow as a business, we hold trainings for the models, we speak to the studio owners. So basically we do a lot of things. We are the first point of communication with them and yeah, everything that includes communicating with them.
So, do you have specific partners and models that are kind of under you that you oversee and take care of?
Exactly. So we all have, usually it depends which account manager we are talking about, but a few partners, and we are their account managers, and we try to stick with them. All over our career here because like we get to know each other, we know how to communicate with each other, we know their usual problems and inquiries, so we know basically how to handle their every pleasure that they ask us to do.
So basically, your job is to help them be successful, it sounds like, and be comfortable.
Exactly. So we are here to make them a bigger business, a more successful business, and yeah, to help the models and help the studio grow all together.
What would you say is the aspect of your job that you enjoy the most and have the most fun with?
Oh, actually, that's such an interesting question. Um, I would say working with so talented individuals, and what I'm really proud of that I have studios who are women owned and operated, and it's such a pleasure to see that they succeed this much in kind of a male-dominated industry, and to see how they grow and I know their stories, their backgrounds, and it's so amazing. And yeah, it really gets me going every day that, okay, I can do this as well. They inspire me so much.
I love that. Yeah, it is really inspiring to see
Yeah.
these successful studio owners, managers, and the models too, that just
Exactly.
become so successful in such a short amount of time, really.
Yeah, exactly. And to see reaching their goals and financial stability that they were always dreaming about. It's so like heartwarming to see like, okay, she got it and she became successful and she reached her goals.
Is there a story of a model or a partner who you saw reach their goals that really just warmed your heart?
Actually, I do. I have some models and studio owners as well. I'm not sure if I can mention them name by name. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, um, Well, I think you haven't had an interview with Lord as well and Evelina. Their story is amazing. Lord told me about her story, her beginning of her career in the industry and how she succeeded within the years. And yeah, like basically she started as a model on the website. She was one of our first top models on the website, and after that she became a really successful studio owner, and now she's managing her models and basically helping them becoming her.
Yeah, it's so interesting because exactly like you, when I hear those stories of someone, especially a woman who just worked her way up and worked really hard and gained, like you mentioned, that financial success and independence, and they're just thriving, it is so inspirational. I mean, that's something that I feel like any woman can admire and look up to. One of the things that this industry faces is a lot of judgment and stigma and criticism.
Yeah.
And I'm curious if your thoughts about the industry changed after you worked in it.
Well, somewhat changed, of course. I applied for this job, like for my previous job as well, um, with a really open-minded mindset, and I was really like inspired with all of the actors and models who are working in the adult entertainment industry, because I know it's hard. I knew that it's a challenging work, and it has some things that you need to go through every day that are not so pleasing. However, when I joined the company and I saw everything that the models are doing behind the camera and how much work they have to put in order to succeed and to create this online persona that they are giving out to the members is like really inspiring. Like they are doing a lot of things, and I saw the models, the person behind the model face and the model name, that they are a real person, that they are real people, and like we have moms on the website. We have amazing, beautiful models who have their own story, and that made a little bit of change in me.
Absolutely. That is something actually that I've noticed too, even doing these interviews and interviewing so many models. Many of the models that I've interviewed, they are so wise and just have like a savvy business understanding, and they have a really positive mindset and mentality. Like they really know how to take care of themselves and value themselves, and more than most people in general I know that I've encountered. That's something that has also really stuck out to me, is just how healthy and wise these models are.
Exactly. I totally understand and like get along with that mindset, because you have to have a really good sales mindset in order to succeed. Because, like nowadays, the industry is, well, more crowded than, I don't know, like 10 years ago. And you have to have a really good business mindset. You have to have a good communication, a good English, and all of the models that are successful on the side, or they are growing still and becoming successful, they have an amazing system within them.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of how much we love the models and how proud we are of them, what would you say is something that you are the most proud of about what you do and your current role?
About my job that I'm really proud of, actually, I mentioned this before, that we are helping the girls reach their dreams and goals, and becoming stable and financially stable with our product. And also with the company, we are providing this tool for the models in order to achieve these dreams. And also we are really innovative and trying to adapt to a really fast changing industry every day.
Absolutely. Byborg is well known for its events and some of the perks that come with working there, like free breakfast and birthdays and all kinds of fun treats. I'm curious, what are some of your favorite perks of working at Byborg?
Ooh, actually, that's a good question because I have a lot. I have a few things that I would like to mention. First of all, we have an amazing opportunity to grow. We have trainings that we can apply to. For example, I had the chance to take part of a training called assertive communication, stress management, and that's really good because like we can use that in our professional space and also in our personal space. Yeah, next to that, the amazing events that Byborg puts out, like we have a lot, and they're so fun, and we can connect with our coworkers within the department, and we have the opportunity to speak and connect to colleagues that are outside of our department. And usually we don't speak, because we're always working and busy. And these events are like really fun and light up the everyday work days.
I love that. And I like too how you mentioned that Byborg offers the opportunity to take courses that help you not only grow in your profession and your role, but like you mentioned, like those are life skills that are going to help you everywhere.
Yeah, that's totally true. Like the stress management course that I took was amazing. Like I could use all the tools and skills that I've learned there, like within, like before meetings, if I'm a little bit nervous, or when I'm having a big lifetime event in my personal space. And okay, now you have to breathe like that, and that's going to help you.
What are some of the tools that you learned in that course?
We learned a few breathing techniques, how you can basically slow down your breathing and your like fast pacing heart. Also, there was skill, but I totally forgot the name. But you have to look for five things that you see, four things that you could touch, three things that are colorful. Like you have to focus on things to like calm you down.
I love that because what that does is it kind of brings you into the present moment when you're focused on your environment. And usually, when you're really anxious or stressed, you're worried about something that's not right here.
Yeah.
So, by breathing, you come back to your body. And then, like you said, looking for items that you can touch or whatever the case is, it really pulls you into the present moment. That's incredible. What is your favorite memory with the company so far?
Oh, okay. That's a tough one because, as I mentioned, I have a few good memories here, a lot actually. I would say my favorite moment was when I was representing the company abroad in Portugal, and we were attending an event and seeing my partners winning so many awards for their hard work that really filled my heart with joy. Like, you know what? I can do anything. Like, as I think you can see that I'm really all about women empowerment.
Absolutely. And I love that. I love you're in the perfect role where, like you mentioned, your job is really supporting and championing these incredible women. And I was also at that event in Portugal that you speak of. And I have to say, it's also a really fond memory of mine too. It just, from start to finish, was so inspirational and fun. I actually remember seeing you that first welcome dinner dancing with the models and just having a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, it was amazing. The venue was amazing. The aesthetic that like we presented, the hotel that we stayed in, the models, the vibes, everything was so perfect. That's kind of a core memory of mine.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine too. What would you say is the biggest lesson that you've learned so far while working at Byborg?
Well, I would say that we have to learn to adapt to every situation, and we have to improve ourselves every day. We are working in a very fast changing industry, and there is a change and a new direction every day, like within the world, because like this is the 21st century, everything is online. and we need to learn to grow, and we need to adapt to new situations, and it's usually not easy, especially at the start, but step by step we are getting into the change and adapting to new things every day.
Yes, that is a big life lesson to learn how to adapt and change, which is so important because, if you're learning, by definition, that should mean change and growth, and that you're not staying stagnant, but it is so hard sometimes to adapt and change. So if you're being put in an environment where you have to learn that skill of going with it, there's that saying, evolve or die, so you have to evolve.
That's so good. I like that line. I'm going to use it in the future.
Yes, you evolve or you die. One of the cool things about Byborg is that there are so many different cultures and people from all over the world that are part of the company. And it's really cool and inspirational because you get to see a lot of different perspectives.
Mhm.
I'm curious if there's someone that you have worked with or someone at the company that just really inspires you.
Well, I have a few people that inspire me a lot. Um, I would say our female leaders really inspire me every day, that they perform so amazingly. And we have a lot of guys within the company, of course, and they are performing so good, and they inspire me every day. I cannot really name one person because basically every our female leader is so perfect that they are amazing at their work.
I agree. I agree. We have some women at this company that are just kicking butt. I don't know how else to say it, but there are some women at this company that are balancing so much. And I feel like really being an example for women that you can have it all. You can have a family and kids and have an incredible career that you're really successful and good at. And yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, I totally agree with that.
Is there anything you've accomplished at the company so far, or a challenge that you had to work through and you found success?
Hmm. Well, as I said, we have a lot of challenges every day because we are working with technology, with so many trends going around the internet that that we have a lot of challenges to face. I'm trying to think about one particular, but what I'm really proud of is my achievements within the company. As I said, I really climbed up on the corporate ladder, and actually, I think I am the youngest account manager specialist within within the team. So that is something that I'm really proud of.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of. You're
Thank you.
well on your way to being one of those successful women that you admire and look up to.
Thank you so much.
Speaking of that, what are some of the goals that you have professionally and even personally?
Hmm. Okay, well, professionally, I would like to take some more responsibility, of course, within the company in the future. I think it's happening every day, step by step. We take more of the challenges in.
Money aside, what would you say is the main benefit that this job brings into your life?
The knowledge that we are learning with the partners every day. Um, Actually, I cannot really like count how many new things I've learned from this job that are really useful and beneficial for me personally in my personal life or professionally, basically. But the knowledge is something that is a huge perk and benefit, of course. What we discussed a little bit earlier, the amazing advantages that Byborg is giving us employees, like such fun activities and free breakfast and the connections that we can create within the Byborg family. So yeah, I would say these.
The knowledge. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, no, that's really important. It sounds like one of the things, because that's come up a few times in the interview, one of the things that you seem to really enjoy about your position is that you're able to learn so much.
Yeah, that is true.
And how do you feel about company culture working in such a huge organization?
Actually, I'm a really extroverted person, and I usually talk with everyone within the company building. I love to say like, "Hi, hello, how was the day?" And I think it's great that we are a big family. You can see that we are not as close maybe with another department if we would just be like, I don't know, 10 people within the company. But it's amazing because you can really meet a lot of people who are coming from different backgrounds or different cultures, and you can really evolve within yourself as well and get to know a lot of new way of thinking.
I love
So
that. Yeah, I love that too, is being able to see a different perspective than what you normally would, you know? So I was looking at your gorgeous Instagram. And I see that you're definitely a model, which I can see right now too.
thank you.
Yeah, talk to me about that. So you're a model. Do you also act? What else do you do?
Yeah, so I've been in the modeling industry, in the fashion modeling industry for 12 years now. I started really early, like as a kid. And I stopped doing professional modeling a few years ago, basically when I joined the company initially, because it was fun, but I realized that I want to take a different path. So I'm not traveling anymore with modeling. However, I still have jobs on the weekends or after work. I also started acting. That is really fun. Yes. I got a really, really small movie part. That was amazing.
Congratulations. That's incredible.
Thank you so much. So yeah, it's really fun to, like mix this job and the other one together because, you never get bored. You are always facing challenges and like meeting new people and new experiences. So yeah, and it's also really helpful sometimes in this position because, like I can help our models and studios to give feedback with content creation, how to handle social media, and these kind of things. So the two connects together.
Absolutely. Yeah. Your skills that you've learned throughout your years of modeling and being in the entertainment industry is helpful when you're helping Jasmine models build their careers. I'm curious if there's anything you've learned from working at Byborg, watching models or helping them that has helped your modeling career that you've been able to bring back and be like, oh, that was a good idea or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, actually, I've learned a lot from their social media as well. When I'm, like checking the models' Instagram or Twitter, like, okay, that's a really good idea, like a really good content to make, or how to handle not as kind people who you're working with, for example, members. Of course, I'm not dealing with members, but clients, but they can be as tough as members sometimes. And seeing how the girls communicate and handle a hard situation helped me a lot, really.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's interesting because I've asked most of the models I've interviewed what the hardest part about being in this industry and being on Jasmine is. And so far, all of the answers have not had anything to do about what they're doing, their job. They say the hardest part is dealing with mean comments and mean members that just say whatever they want to say. That can be really hurtful.
Yeah, that's something that I'm thinking all the time about, because it can be so hard, because I worked with members as well when I was in support, and I know how rude they can be, like how aggressive sometimes, and you have to deal with these kind of situations with kindness, and sometimes it's frustrating and you cannot show that in front of the camera, that okay, now I'm upset because they commented on my body, and you have to get through the day working with that comment inside of your head.
You know, it's funny that you bring up that you had to work in support, and so you've seen how sometimes people can be. Um, do you have, you know, obviously leaving out details that would identify anyone or anything, but are there any funny stories you have about when you worked in support and something you had to deal with or something that happened, people writing or calling in? I feel like
um,
customer support, they have the best stories because
oh yes, due to GDPR and privacy reasons, I cannot share the funniest stories. However, like calls that weren't meant to us, but for the models were the funniest calls ever. You know, like I pick up the phone and like started talking on my customer service voice, and they're telling me, okay, now I want to do this and this and this with you, and you know, this is not the place. This is not the place, sir. Yeah, those calls were fun.
yeah, that's really funny. That is so funny. Okay, do you have any other kind of fun, lighthearted stories like that?
I'm not sure if I can share more,
Okay.
but yeah.
Yeah, I've heard some funny stories and that's a funny one, yeah. My final question for you is what is something you're the most grateful for in your life right now?
Oh, okay. That's a good question. Wow. That's a deep one.
It can be anything.
Most grateful. Well, I would say my support system within my friends and family.
That's huge. Yeah.
That is so essential to have a good life, I think.
100%. I mean, think about the company we work for. It is centered around relationships and human connection. And you and I have both seen how connection can literally make someone's life if they have it or break someone's life if they don't. We need it as human beings.
Exactly. That is 100% true.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much as well. It was so fun.
That makes me happy. And that's it. That's the interview.
Okay, perfect. Oh God, that was actually a lot easier than I thought.